George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation. Pleased to be joined by Charles Anderson, a veteran lawmaker in the community, historian, TV host, you name it. He's done a lot in this community, former Syracuse City Councilor, and he's here to talk to us about the first principle of Kwanzaa, which is unity, to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. And Charles Anderson, so good to see you as always. And so what has unity meant for you in 2020, and what will it mean for you in 2021?
Well, when I look at the principle where they say it speaks to the needs of to develop and sustain a sense of oneness, of righteousness, rightful togetherness in small and large circles and significant relations to our lives, from family to friendship to community and the cosmos, and in everyday life, especially in the midst of what's going on now,
right?
It seems that unity is very difficult to come by. Mm-hmm. There's the coronavirus and the tension between the parties, and it just makes it very difficult. Mm-hmm. But people have to understand that in order to get anything done, they have to be unified.
Right.
Principles. So it's interesting because, I'm in 3 organizations like the 100 Black Men of Syracuse, Power Ropes and Performing Arts Company, and the Pan-African Community of Central New York. And these are people, from many different statuses in life, and they're all in organizations, and they have to be unified around a particular theme or purpose that they're trying to accomplish.
Right.
And sometimes it's not easy, mm-hmm. With everything else that's going on, to bring people together to talk about what they want to achieve, not necessarily for themselves, but for the community.
So how is this showing up for you personally in 2020?
Well, number one, I just have to make sure that I stay healthy, mm-hmm. and free of the coronavirus.
Right.
So that has really put a damper on my being many places.
Right. You are a busy young man.
It's like being at home and going to the grocery store.
Right.
Everything else has to be done virtually,
virtually,
on Zoom and in other places. And it makes it a little difficult because you want to keep that unity with the groups that you're a part of. Mm-hmm. But when you are not in person, sometimes it makes it a little more difficult.
So in some ways, it's been a challenge for you to actually do that. But at the same time, the organizations that you're a part of, whether it's the 100 Black Men through the mentoring and health and wellness programs with the Paul Robeson Performing Arts, the ability to actually have performances, right? And then the Pan-African community to be able to to talk about the culture within the African diaspora. So I did your work for you just there, Charles. I hope you saw that. So in 2021, what are you hoping, again, for you? How will how will unity show up in your life in 2021 as a guide for daily living? Because one of the things that we want people to understand is that in order for the Kwanzaa principles to be manifest, they have to be lived, right? It's not just some words on a page. It's how are we going to actually have those show up in our lives? So what are you going to do, Charles?
Well, I'll continue to do what I've been doing in the past. Mm-hmm. I have many organizations to be a part of. I have my family. Mm-hmm. To keep together, because of certain disabilities.
Sure.
That we have. So I have to make sure that we're unified and going forward. Mm-hmm. We have to accomplish in spite of the disabilities mm-hmm. that we have. So that's a major challenge. And then keep up with what I have to do with all of the other organizations.
Mm-hmm.
We have a particular thing that's coming up for 2021 that will engage the community, will engage young people and elderly people in trying to face some of the health issues that we're confronted with.
And Charles, I guess people don't realize that this has been your whole life in this community. You're so humble in that description, whether it's from your work. You in the Peace Corps, weren't you?
Yes.
Right. So from your work in the Peace Corps to
And
your
that's
work.
where I came, when I came out of the Peace Corps, I came here to New York.
Came here to New York, right? Originally from Virginia. So I remember that. So this has been your whole life to serve, and I finally ask you this: why has that been so important to you, as a function of unity? Yeah, why has that been so important to you?
Yeah, I grew up on a farm in Virginia, in the midst of intense segregation. And we had to survive and be united and overcome that, to, go to college and get jobs and things, the situation that we grew up in. And I think we learned a lot from that you have to believe in other people and be unified with them as a community to be able to do things, because Black people went all to the same schools and the same churches and organizations. And coming north, you were thrown out of that. So you have to use the principles and things that you learned growing up to confront what we have to deal with now.
Charles Anderson Ujima, to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Habaragani Ujima.
Habaragani.
Inspiration for the nation.